Alright, my name is CeliaTuPER. I am here on behalf of the public speaking class. And by a show of hands, how many of you have children or grandchildren? Alright, lovely lady right here. What's one of your child's names?
Jasmine,
Grandchild?
Summer.
Summer, okay. So, assuming that you love Summer very much, it would be very painful to lose them in a tragic accident, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
So then let's say Summer was driving home from work one day and she was hit by a drunk driver that killed her on impact. What would your reaction be?
Just be. I'm just thinking.
Very sad.
Yes, yes.
Very sad.
Just
Yes,
nearly in shock.
very yes. Over 350,000 people each year are either killed or injured in accidents involving a drunk driver. It's time we end that trend. DWI, DUIs, and OWI consequences should be more severe. I'll be exploring several topics over people driving under the influence, including a face of drunk driving, what some current punishments and statistics of drunk driving are, along with mine and other people's opinions on this. This is Jacqueline Sabarigo. From FacesOfDrunkDriving.com, they basically feature several drunk driving experiences and people's stories. So Jackie came to the U.S. to study English from Venezuela, and she was in Texas, and she went to a birthday party with 4 other friends, and at 4 in the morning on September 19th of 1999, she was driving home, and then Reggie Steffe, an 18-year-old, was drunk, and he crashed into their car, killing 2 people on the scene, and Jackie suffered from 3rd-degree burns, over 60% of her body. Reggie was given 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter, along with 7 years in prison. This is Jackie today. Reggie was released in 2008, and he only was in there for 7 years, even though he killed 2 people and took her life away as well. Jackie, in the crash, her eyes were scorched, which leaves her blind today, and the crash also took her ears, lips, nose, eyelids, and hands, as you can see right here. There's no fingers at all, it is just a palm. This could have been Summer, just as easily. Drunk driving accidents happen all the time. So now that we looked at a face of drunk driving, we'll look into some statistics along with some punishments right now. According to Mad.org, 10,000 people are killed annually, along with 345,000 injured. But it isn't very surprising because 32% of fatal car crashes involve a drunk driver. But you have to realize that every 90 seconds, an accident occurs from drunk driving. And every life is priceless, but if you were to put a price on drunk driving, it'd be around $132 billion. 50 to 75% of people that get their license revoked from drunk driving still drive anyways, which leads some countries to outdo themselves with their punishments. According to webpages.charter.net, Australia has local newspapers, and every single week they come out, and a page of their newspaper would have will have the headline, "He's drunk and in jail," and it will feature the people that have gotten like DUI, DWIs that week. In Australia or in Malaysia, if you were a drunk driver and you were given a DUI and you had a wife, your wife would also be in jail along with you. And in Turkey, if you were caught drunk driving, you would be driven 20 miles out of town, and you'd have to walk all the way back to the jail and then get some more punishments and be in jail for another year. In Bulgaria, if you are convicted a second time, you are executed right then. There's no third chance, your second chance is your last. The U.S., in order to get a DUI, DWI, or OWI, your blood alcohol level needs to be or higher. But some countries have zero tolerance. If your blood alcohol level is above 0%, then you will get in trouble. And some of those countries are Slovakia, the Czech Republic, and Hungary. More than 1/3% of the people that are given or that are involved in fatal car crashes are those that have been have gotten a DUI before, so they're second-time offenders. So because of that, they've invented the ignition unlocked, which is basically this little thing that is tied to your car. So if you have gotten a DWI before, you would have to blow into this ignition interlock, and your car wouldn't start unless your blood alcohol level was less than 0.8%. In some countries, your license will be revoked from life if you are convicted just once, and some of those countries are Germany and Russia. So I interviewed a retired cop, and she thinks that there should be more consequences, but she gave me a different viewpoint. She told me that even though she wishes that the punishment should be more severe, they can't necessarily do that because they don't have the time, money, and the resources to do so. They can't just throw every single person that has driven under the influence into jail every single time because they don't have enough jail cells, and they can't keep them for a full year. I also asked her if she has been on any scenes where that have involved drunk driving accidents, and she said one has stood out to her, and it was one that involved a pickup and a motorcycle. There was two people on the motorcycle, and they were both drunk. And they crashed into the pickup truck, and when my grandma arrived on the scene, at the cop, she was doing an investigation, and she looked behind the truck, and she saw this person that was lying motionless, and there was brain matter all over the place, and she thought that person was dead. And then she was looking under the car also, and she found another body, figuring that that person was dead as well, and then she saw this shiny round object. It was like really white, and it was just really shiny, and she couldn't figure out what it was. And then later she found out that that was the top of someone's skull. That motorcyclist that was driving, who was drunk, had hit the pickup truck, and the front bumper completely sliced off his head and sucked all the brain matter all over the place. He was dead, the one underneath the truck. But the one behind the pickup truck was alive. That brain matter wasn't his. And he was charged with interference, which is all they could charge him with, and that was only because he was denying that he was drunk that night, but obviously they knew that he was because they had gotten the blood alcohol level test. I also made a survey and sent it out to the whole student body at the high school, and I got a total of 123 responses. And out of those 123 people, 63% of the people who responded said that they would want a raise in the punishments. And then when I went around and asked more people and gave them some of the statistics that I just gave all to you, it was more around 80% that agreed with me. And so after looking at a face of drunk driving, the punishments and statistics, and everyone else's opinion on the subject, I hope you realize that we need to stop this trend of 10,000 fatalities a year by drunk drivers. We need to raise the punishments for drunk driving. Don't let summer be 10,001.